You got it. Got to be a big visual, otherwise,
Kevin, crack that damn beer.
Crack the damn mango cart there, god darn it. You know what? I'm closing this.
Yeah, close the laptop. Let's close all media.
You know what? This is the new media. Mm-hmm. I've always said that.
Yeah. That's actually Imagine Dragons inspired me to get this VR camera.
Really?
Because they say, welcome to the new age. The new age. And I was listening to that while doing DMT, and I was like, I need to buy a VR camera and start a gaming channel.
Bro, there's like a different world out there, bro, that honestly a lot of people don't even acknowledge. You know what I mean?
Come on, chug that fucking beer right now,
Let me tell you
bitch.
something. If you guys start fucking around on this episode, I will cut everything.
Kill me. Fucking stab me in the neck, bitch. I would love to die.
Hey, Ben.
I'm waking up. I'm waking in. Like a skeleton. This is the apocalypse.
You gotta get
Whoa.
I gotta get and we're okay, guys.
Here we go.
Here we go. What the hell is this?
This really sucks ass.
I thought that was going to be an Magic Dragons MIDI. Radioactive. That's the song.
Yeah, Radioactive. Radioactive.
Are we really starting off with Radioactive?
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's the best song ever made.
My kids love this song.
That's a little better.
Can we start the podcast? Can we start it?
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to get it pumped up for you guys.
Jesus. I'm gonna fucking kill somebody.
All right, Kevin. All right. You know what, Kevin? Shirt's coming off.
Kevin's got to get to work soon.
Yeah.
If this gonna be that kind of party, I'm gonna stick my dick in the back. Oh God! They're gonna know I'm dumb.
What's up, motherfucker? Welcome to Brain Jail, bitch. You in the bitch? You in Brain Jail, bitch? Welcome, bitch. Welcome to hell. You in hell now, bitch.
Welcome to Brain Jail. I'm Kevin. Taking across from me is Jay Swain Avery.
Howdy, folks.
Not wearing any extra weird outfit today.
What are you talking about? I have a mustache on.
Oh.
I have a 1/8 inch mustache, and that's not weird.
Do you feel more racist now that you have a mustache?
I actually keep forgetting that I have it on, and then I have a serious conversation at work where I'm like, Dan, they're going to fuck us. And then I walk past a window, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I look like a fat pedophile right now. Yeah.
You're like, hey, you got any more of those donuts? I got a hankering. And on the ones and twos, we got Benjamin Al-Qaeda Avery.
Hey, I accidentally downloaded the Quran on my PS4 and I'm Muslim now.
Hell yeah.
It's like
Ben's playing the Quran in Spider-Man.
I hear it's got a great co-op.
it's not bad.
It's
the
a really-
online sucks though.
Yeah.
You have to at the beginning of the game. You win if you just kill yourself.
Yeah. In Red Dead Redemption, you drive your horse into the Twin Towers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mhm. That's right.
What is the horse's name?
The horse's name is
Muhammad?
I was trying to think of one name for 9/11.
Al Horseshoe Akbar.
Okay. All right. No. Let's stick.
guess.
No. Let's stick with this.
There's got to be a better one, right?
What are terrorists?
Wait, how many virgins do you get when you die?
72.
Okay, so it's Flight 72.
That's the name of the horse?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Maybe
I feel like we could do better.
I
you know?
can't. I feel like we can, but I can't. I really.
But we won't.
We won't. We won't.
This offends me as a Muslim man living in America.
That's you being Muslim.
I'm Muslim. I downloaded the Quran on my game console,
Right.
and I've been playing the Quran.
Right.
And I won. I beat the game.
Did you try to burn
And
your-
now I'm Muslim.
when you first got it, did you try to burn your PS4
Wait, what?
because it had the Quran on it?
That's right.
What's your favorite part of the new Quran video game?
If I had to guess,
Dude, there's this part. Have you got a level 6?
no. What's on level 6?
It's an underwater level.
You have to walk a few yards in front of your wife, and if she gets too close, you have to shoot her.
Yeah.
and it's brutal.
I'm waiting to get to. I heard in level 10 you get to run for Congress. And what's great about that is once you get to that level, you get to be secretly a hardcore anti-Semite.
Wow.
Which is really cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Dude, you've seen that video with the lady and the Jewish
Omar?
It was a Jewish professor.
Elaine Omar?
Elon Bill Maher.
And there's
that's my new character. Folks, they're sending money to Israel, okay?
Okay. No, it's a lady.
New
in a
rule.
hijab,
9/11
and
didn't
she's
happen.
like in the audience, and some guy's like, "Will you denounce the Muslim bombing or whatever place?" And
Will
she's
you
like, "No."
denounce
You seen that?
Hamas?
Hamas.
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go. I thought it was saying hummus. And I was like, it's delicious.
Can I go back to Elaine Omar real quick again, Ben, while you become more Muslim over there?
Yes.
All right, so it's Elaine Bill Maher, and he goes, Senator, I'm more of a house terrorist.
Ooh, okay.
Is
I
that
like
good?
that. That's
Is that
really
good? I'm submitting a packet to SNL right now.
You just elevated the fucking bit, dude. And that means we get to stop doing it.
Dude, that means you did a fucking hat on a hat, and that means the bit is over and we can kill ourselves. Nothing more I love more than like grabbing a surf and killing myself.
Grabbing a surf?
Yeah, grabbing a surf and turf, and then blowing my motherfucking brains out.
Hey, if you guys are watching out there on the YouTubes, leave a comment. Let us know how this looks. I know Ben,
Please don't report us to YouTube.
Ben spends a lot of time on his outfits.
For the podcast listener, we're available on 8 different types of platforms now. Ben is wearing a goat's head skull on top of his face.
He's wearing devil horns with like flowers.
Yeah, and he has his sweatpants pulled up to Clint Eastwood titty levels around his nipples.
Nobody's got to tell me to pull my pants down. Not even Bill Cosby. What if Bill Cosby's telling Clint Eastwood to pull his pants up?
Oh man, that's like a movable force, unstoppable object or whatever.
Clint Eastwood talking to a chair while Bill Cosby tells everybody to pull his pants up. I already pulled my pants up. I pulled it up, I tell you. I pulled my pants up. Now I'm going to fly this spaceship to the moon, even though I'm 112.
Yeah, then there's too many Jews on the moon. That's why I'm flying up there.
There's too many Mongs on the moon. I'm not going to take time to get into home. I'm not interested.
Don't get me started on Mars. That place is terrible.
If you're not from the planet Earth, I don't want to know you.
Guatemalans covered in Mars.
Go ahead, make my gay.
Did you say make my gay?
I did.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
bit.
for you.
Yeah.
What is that movie from again? Dirty Larry?
Dirty Sanchez.
You're thinking of the porn parody.
Dirty Larry.
Dirty Larry.
Yeah.
He's like, I know what you're thinking. Did I fire 6 loads or did I fire 7? He's got his dick. He's jerking it off in front of a woman's mouth. And he's like, go ahead, punk. Make me gay. And then the woman moves and then he blows her head off with a load full of fucking cum.
What
Maybe
was
I
like
did fire 7, but I'm extra horny today. And you got to ask yourself, punk.
Maybe I use promo code BrainJail at BlueChew.com.
You got to ask yourself, am I extra horny today? Punk.
Dirty Larry. Dirty Larry.
Yeah.
What was the message of that whole movie?
Dirty Harry or Dirty Larry?
Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry the message was cops fucking rule.
That's the
Yeah.
whole movie,
And
right?
you shouldn't kneel during the fucking national anthem.
It's fucking propaganda is what it is, right? They're like, look how cool this cop is.
I think it was supposed to,
He's,
if I'm answering seriously, it's like supposed to be a fucking, it's like, a lot of cops are bad was basically what they're saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
I like the movie now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always nice when you don't have to challenge your own beliefs about anything.
Well, I always
in a
wait
movie.
for someone to tell me what something means, and then I make my decision based on how I feel about it.
Right.
Which is why I love journalism these days.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
Anytime I watch a movie, I'm like, I can't wait to go to Reddit and see if I like this movie.
It is interesting that most people like movies based on whether or not it challenges their belief systems in any way. And if
Yeah.
it does, they're like, this movie was abhorrent.
Yeah,
I
horrible.
disagreed with some things.
A lot of people think Gran Torino's a bad movie, which it's not.
It's insane. That's insane. I mean, I've watched the movie once. I felt it was fine. There's it's just insane that any depiction of, like, what were we watching the other day where we were watching The Legend of
Birth
Bagger
of a
Vance.
Nation.
Yeah, we were watching Birth of a Nation. Remastered.
Right.
Remastered in 360 degree VR.
Girth of a Nation.
It was about Jace's cock
That's right.
It's
got a
it's
little
a
hood
story
on it.
of Jason Cobb becoming becoming a U.S. citizen.
That's right. Like an Audie Murphy story, but with my dick.
Your dick was actually born south of the border, even though you were born in Texas.
My dick's listening to Born in the USA and like wave, Born in the USA. I
love it. I love it, Jesse. My man.
My dick is a Jeff Dunham puppet. I'm a penis on a stick. Like pepper on a stick.
A penis on a stick.
I'm a penis on a stick. I like to fuck women because I'm a penis.
No, we were watching The Legend of Bagger Vance, and this is how autistic Ben is. And I think this will endear you to him even more.
Go on.
Especially if you're a straight white male.
That's right.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, which we tell all straight white males to turn this podcast off. As soon as they
turn it
start
off. This is bad for you. This is bad for you. You're going to love it, but you shouldn't.
That's why you can't listen to it.
It's like
'Cause
soda
it'll make
pop.
you shoot up a Walmart.
It really
Listen to
will.
this podcast.
Yeah, so this is consider this the warning at the beginning. Do not listen to this podcast. It's bad. All right. But Ben, every time there would be anybody on the screen, because it was based in the early 1900s, he's going, that guy probably wants to say the N-word. Dude, these guys, what were you saying? These guys were slinging it. These guys were slinging it.
Yeah. I'm like, you know, they were just letting it fly.
Yeah.
They're just sitting around in a room with suspenders, just letting it fly.
Because it was showing too like normal, like 1920s, like, hey, you want to go down to the soda fountain and get a nickel? And then you were like laughing at them wanting to say the N-word. And
Hey,
then
mister, I'm so excited to be playing golf out here.
Boy,
I'm as chuffed as a goat on a hill right now.
boy, what? Because I love listening to one trumpet through a tin can. That's my idea. And then it cut to like literally like two old pig men dressed up in like Pappy O'Daniel, and that's when you really like you went in like that Donald Duck boner meme.
Yeah, you guys had to like pin me to the ground. I was laughing so hard. You had to like tie me up. You had to hog tie me.
I had to pepper spray you.
I'm like, they're thinking the N-word. They know they want to say it. They're just letting it fly.
Right, and I'm shooting Ben with a taser in his face.
And I was eating a bunch of chocolate-covered cherries.
Yeah.
While I was...
Those are good, those cherries.
But like, Jason, you were making me laugh. Like Bagger Vance is driving down the road, like to the tournament, and everybody's running out of the house, like waving at him and stuff.
Right.
And
Well,
then,
Matt
like,
Damon's character is driving to the tournament.
What'd I say?
Bagger Vance is Will Smith's character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What'd I say?
You said Bagger Vance is driving down the road.
Don't worry about it. We got the gist. Keep going.
Right.
No, I'm not talking about the spiritual.
Magical Negro.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's his name. Magic Negro.
In the movie, he's listed as
His
Magic.
name is Magic Johnson Negro.
Is that okay?
I think it's okay.
Let's make sure and timestamp that so we can put this out
What's
on
saying-
a repeating loop.
Here's the thing, Kevin. If you
magical
bleep it out, it'll seem like he actually said the N-word, which he didn't.
I actually put a lot of extra bleeps in just to keep
Is
the
magical-
audience on their toes. You know,
Is Magical Negro offensive, though? Because it's a term meant to be saying, like, it's a racist character.
look. Let me stop you right there.
Okay.
I don't know what's racist. I think you're fine. I mean, I know that some words are racist.
But Magical Negro is literally, it's a term depicting a very lazy literary character in white filmmaking.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's a criticism of white cinematography.
Yeah. I think that's how he was described as the spiritual.
Magical Negro.
Yeah,
How am I the
yeah.
only one who knows what it is every time? Maybe I am racist.
I think you might be. I mean, but who knows? You can't really help it, you know? And if there's anything that I've learned about people is that they're all the same based on their gender, race, and sexual preference. So, I mean, it's not like you had any choice in it.
That's right.
You know, because you're a piece of shit just based on where you were born.
Well, that was one of my favorite Jamar Neighbors jokes. Do you remember this joke, Ben, where he goes, all right, if you're born gay, why can't I be born homophobic? It's a great joke.
Yeah,
Really
that's a
great
really
joke,
everybody
man.
else has to change while you get to just be what you were born as. You fucking assholes.
Of course, I don't believe you should be homophobic. I feel like I'm agreeing with that now.
Well,
in the bit.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Kevin's saying you should be homophobic, and I'm saying you shouldn't. So that's where we differ
I'm saying
on that point.
Look, I'm saying if you're not just like me, you're not even human. That's what I've been saying this whole time. Look, if you're not related to me, even I'm actually even you guys, I consider lower than because you're not me. You know, honestly, even my kids. I don't even. They're not me. So I
So you're just
judge
a
them.
psychopath.
Yeah. So I remember when I found out I was having a little girl, I was just like, ugh, gross. And the doctor's like, what do you mean? And they're like, it's going to be so great to have like, a little you running around. I'm like, she's a woman? I don't think so. She just, and then the moment she came out, I remember her first words were,
Your daughter was your first, right?
no, my son was the first,
Oh, okay.
which was great
Why?
because he's a man. And then my daughter came out. The first words that she said was,
Cancel culture?
Hail Hitler.
that was her second word.
Right.
Her first words were credit card. Yeah. And then I would always, my son would call me daddy and she would call me sugar daddy. And I was like, this is weird. Because all women are money grubbing whores.
Whores. Yeah.
Bibbos, sluts, strawlups, dames, tramps.
Hey, can I?
What's a straw up?
It's like a woman with a big pussy.
Is it like a hair lip?
Oh, did you see? I saw an article.
It's just when your pussy lips are hollow.
I think it's like a.
Oh, you have to get surgery on it. Yeah.
It's like a woman who like her pussy fell off, and she always is hollering about something.
In Vietnam, she lost her pussy.
Yeah, it got blown off. It got blown off by Agent Orange.
She tried to fuck a landmine and it blew her pussy off. Kevin, I had one mango card. I'm not responsible for my words right now.
Yeah, I get it. Hey,
Keep
can
drinking
I?
that fucking beer, dude.
I apologize. Can I just break it down real quick?
Yeah, break it down.
One time? Can I?
Yeah, one time.
Can I break it down one time? I'm tired, man. I'm in a weird mood tonight. I'm in a weird ass mood. I feel weird. I
You're
don't know.
very angry about the VR camera.
I got pissed.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. But
You seem more short tempered since you started smoking weed again.
I will fight everybody in here. Well, I mean, I'm high all the time anyway, so
How much are you smoking weed right now?
I
Since
do.
your relapse.
What? How much is this? That's about.
A bushel?
Yeah, I take about a bushel every few hours.
Give me about a bushel basket.
2 months ago, Kevin's like, "Oh, I only smoke like alone, like to go to bed." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, it's horseshit."
I never said that.
You said that.
You could use my real words against me because they're just as incriminating.
No, you said that.
No, I said if it's on the weekends, I got nothing to do. I don't have to interact with any.
You're
human
unemployed.
beings.
You never have anything to fucking do.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm employed. I'm a
unemployed
professional podcaster. All right, I'm a professional. I'm a broadcaster.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm a professional entertainer.
You're like Ed Morrow.
I'm a model. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? I spent plenty of time employed. I'm done with it. I'm done with employment, and I'm done with sobriety.
Have you red pilled society? You're above working and having a job.
I shouldn't have to work. Fucking assholes making me get a job. Did you hear me gurgle at the end there?
Yeah, a little bit of a gurgle.
That was your big belly.
Kevin, don't fall for it. He's trying to trap you.
What? Why? Why are you doing this?
Doing what?
Why are you trolling me right now?
I'm not trolling. I think you have a problem. I'm worried about you.
Are you worried?
I am a little worried about your weed consumption a little bit. I'm worried you're going to backslide.
Yeah, you're going to backslide 100%.
I'm worried you're going to backslide into smoking like all the time again.
Here,
And I say that as your friend who cares about you and loves you.
no.
I say that about someone who fucking hates your guns.
I feel like the more you guys talk about it, the more I just want to smoke right now.
Do it.
Well, don't do that.
You'll
That's
be
gonna
worse
be
on
bad.
the podcast. You've actually gotten worse on the podcast since you started smoking weed.
I will get upset and shove it down for years and years and years, Ben. And then as I'm officiating your wedding, I will let it all out.
Ben's like the only school shooter who was the bully.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely out of it.
Are you smoking like every day?
No.
Okay.
How many days did you smoke this week?
Twice?
Did you smoke last night?
No. Did I smoke last night? No, I did smoke last night.
Can't even fucking remember.
Wow.
Can't even remember.
Jesus.
I know. It's bad.
Dude,
You know what?
I'm going to take your weed from you right now. I'm flushing this fanny pack down the toilet.
Hey, you can't flush my fanny pack down the toilet.
Look at him.
Well, you
His
flushed the-
anxiety levels just rose.
They are
Look,
through the-
look at it's through the roof right now.
They're through the roof. Yeah, I don't like it.
You know what, Kevin? If you're gonna keep smoking weed, I'm gonna have a beer. I'm gonna go up and get a beer.
We're actually
You know
out of
what?
beer.
Good.
if
for you.
if you loved me, you wouldn't let me go get a beer, right?
Maybe.
So what does it say about me if I just let you sit there and smoke your life away, fry your brain?
I think it means that you respect me as an individual to make my own decisions, and that you like me and that you enjoy it. I think you should start drinking again, Ben. I've been saying this for a long time.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, alcoholics, they always say stupid shit like, I can't have just one. I got to keep drinking and I can become dependent on it. And I think that's just bullshit. I think they just, you know what I mean? They forget that they're fucking partying. You know what I mean? And then the world gets in their way. Like maybe their wife is like pissed off because they like drove the car through the garage or something. Mm-hmm. It's like that bitch is going to be pissed about something. You know, it might as well.
Yeah, and a garage door, like, they have a lifespan of, 10 years?
Yeah.
Anyway?
Yeah.
You're basically helping the house out. You're getting a new garage door in there. You didn't have to pay a construction guy to tear
That's
it out.
true.
Look, if there's anything I've learned from Facebook, it's that there's no reason for you to change ever. Just explain why you are the way you are to the whole world, and then they have to just get over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get over it.
I think reinventing yourself is fucking gay.
Yeah, it really is.
I think it's for gay guys.
What if the wheel reinvented itself, you know? To a square or something?
Yeah, that'd be dumb.
That'd be real dumb.
Yeah, it's like people.
Almost as dumb as me mentioning that.
Well, people convince themselves that they're reinventing themselves, but they really just they're like, oh yeah, I came out as non-binary to my grandmother, and you're like, she's like almost dead, like she doesn't even know what that means.
Yeah.
And they act like they're a different person now. They're like, oh, I always felt this way. Did you?
I'm
Did
sure.
you?
I mean, it's a case by case thing, but it is always so annoying that somebody just you're at the grocery store and they'll be like, to the person ringing up was like, it's gonna be $22.50, and they're like, by the way, I'm non-binary.
Do you have a non-binary discount?
Like, no, actually, it's just $22.50. I feel like that was a bit of a microaggression without you addressing the fact that I'm non-binary.
Could anything matter less than what kind of gender you feel like?
I don't know. I haven't worried about that problem because I'm just a piece of shit. I'm just a straight white guy.
Yeah. I mean, can these people just can they just fuck off? Fuck these non-binary people.
I don't like
them.
I'm about to Esposito this.
Yeah, I
bit.
want Esposito the bit too.
They suck, dude.
It's not even that good of a bit. I'm part of it.
I'm not doing a bit. They suck. What the fuck is? What does it mean to feel like a man? I don't know what the fuck that means. I've never felt like the bounty man, or I've never felt like a lumberjack.
I mean, if you really want to cut down to it, and specifically cut down in between your legs, these are people that wake up and look at their dick in the mirror and they just want to vomit.
I'm not talking about.
Which honestly,
I'm not talking about trans people.
I can relate to.
We're
I
talking
understand
about
trans
non-binary
people.
people.
I'm talking about these people who have a dyed hair thing and say they're non-binary and grew up in the suburbs and are annoying as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I think you also have an imaginary person in your head, because how many non-binary people do you actually know?
There's only 3.
A couple, and they all suck.
So you're basing your entire viewpoint of the world on 3 people who live in Los Angeles.
Well, and then every Twitter account that screams at people that they're non-binary.
Yeah, you're sorting through the worst. So you're the guy who goes to the south side of Chicago and is like, you see? That's why Obama can't be president.
I would like to hear your defense of non-binary and switch me right now.
I'm not trying to defend non-binary. I honestly don't give.
So you're attacking them.
I don't give.
I was questioning
You're
it.
making me.
I was presenting it as a topic. You are now relentlessly. You are viciously attacking non-binary.
Your
people.
version of questioning is they suck. Fuck off. No, I'm questioning. This is a debate.
Yeah, I'm wide open to changing my mind. That's how I start.
Listen,
That's how I start to change.
I am trolling, but a lot of them suck.
You're debating Hannah Gatsby on a public forum, and you're like, well, my retort is, fuck you, you dumb bitch. You suck.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Switch me right now without viciously attacking them like you were doing before.
Look,
I honestly don't know. That's the thing. It's more, I'm just my only thing is if you were doing a bit, I'm like, okay, I didn't think it was a fantastic bit, but whatever. But if you're being serious, it's like, I don't think you know either. So it's just, you're like a guy at a country club talking about politics right now.
Yeah, you didn't switch me. Fuck non-binary people.
I'll tell you the one
Jace
thing.
had his chance and he couldn't eloquently express himself. So.
One of the things that really bothers
I'm
me
a
about
bigot
this
now.
shit is constantly getting interrupted. But it is frustrating that somebody has to bring their inner monologue out for everyone. Like, before I go on stage, I literally think in my mind, you're the best fucking comedian that's ever lived in your whole life. There's nobody better. Get up there and show these fuckers how to do it. Now, that is the most delusional thing. If I were to then go around and be like, Ben, you didn't even call me the best comedian in the entire world. It's like, yeah, it's a thing that I have to feel before I go onto stage or whatever. I just don't understand how people are so fucking weak that if somebody calls them she or he or whatever,
madam.
It's just, that it throws them off that much that it's just like, oh, how dare you? Like, people have called me ma'am before, just because of my fat ass and I was wearing a thong on the beach. But I didn't get pissed. I got it.
Well, I'm okay with calling people what they want to be called.
I have no problem with that, but I don't understand how it is so offensive. How people can get just so butthurt over this shit.
Well, I think also the thing is, and I'm not trying
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to play Mr. Centrist here or anything, but I really think, like, if you boil it down, I think, yes, there's a lot of people who are doing it who are fake and annoying and just, like, want the attention, and they freak out at a GameStop, because a guy accidentally called them sir.
Right.
Or whatever, because they love having that.
Or used any pronoun.
They love having that, like, PC gun. They can just walk around like they're holding up a bank. They
Right.
love that. But also, I think, I don't, like, know enough about, like, I think the people who, like, are hijacking the train of thought about that are like the insane people.
Yeah.
It's the same as like some liberal comic you hate comparing all the every white guy to the Covington kids are the people in
I hate
Charlottesville.
generalizations.
Right.
I hate it.
Well, we're going to have to cut this part out because Jace made me look bad. Because everyone at home is like, oh, well, thank God Jace is there. And
yeah, no, for sure. No, I look bad too. So.
Let's just cut out my part. And, well, you looked bad. We can leave yours in. And, well, I don't want Jace to look better than me, so cut his out too.
Why don't we just stop doing the podcast altogether?
Okay.
I think that would probably be the best route. There we go. Okay, here we go.
All right, good up, guys. What do we do? 22 minutes?
Good stuff. Keep it. Yeah.
Here we go, baby. We're getting into the podcast.
I love that it's actually the end of the podcast right now.
Hell yeah.
You guys just want to sit here since the podcast is over and just keep talking?
Yeah, let's just go get that. After the podcast ends, let's just talk about it.
Yeah, let's just. Now we'll just have a regular conversation.
Oh, God. They're going to know I'm dumb.
All right, now that the podcast is over and we're not recording anymore, I fucking hate non-binary people. They can suck my fucking dick.
I was just doing a bit to expose on the podcast.
I literally asked, is this a bit? And you like, kind of know.
Well,
You're like, no, it's not a bit.
yeah, maybe we should start recording again then.
Okay, let's go ahead and start the podcast.
Because I was just trying to expose people that hate non-binary people. Like I was trying to expose people like Jace. But we were both so ironic on the podcast. It was like opposite day where I'm over here. I'm like, fuck non-binary people.
Yeah.
And Jace was over there. He's like, oh, I love them. Now that the podcast is off, now our true colors are coming to light. Yeah. I fucking can't get enough of the non-binary shit.
And I hate them. And I only say that because we're not recording is I hate them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gay.
Kevin's secretly gay.
Kevin's a gay man.
I'm a gay man.
Who's cheating on his wife every
don't smoke
night.
weed on the podcast.
I'm doing it.
No, Kevin, you're going to be worse on the podcast.
Well, this is what you guys get for bringing it up.
Kevin,
This is what you get.
don't do it.
Wow, look at him play the victim. He loves being a victim. Look at
Kevin,
him.
no, seriously.
Well, he's not smoking on the podcast because the podcast
is over.
I know the
so we can
podcast is
relax.
over, but like even like let's say hypothetically we're doing a bit where the podcast is still recording. Please do not smoke weed on it. I took time out of my fucking, I don't want to play the victim again here, but I took time out of my fucking day. I canceled the date so we could keep recording.
Well, fair enough. You took time off of your own dick to record this podcast.
I took juice off of my own dick right now so we could, we're done recording, so we could record what we already recorded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Well, make sure that on this one that I get attacked within the first 5 seconds.
Well, I
of the
feel like
podcast.
now Kevin is mentally very high because he thought about smoking weed. And I feel like now it's thrown him off.
Yep.
Because it's just as bad to smoke weed as it is to think about smoking weed. It's like that verse in the Bible.
Yeah, if
You know what I mean?
if I looked at a big old bud with lust in my heart, I might as well have smoked it.
Big old pair of natty buds.
Yeah, dude. Kevin's just thinking about that burning bush.
I do love redheads, man.
Hey, what's up, Moses?
Oh, hey, devil.
I'm the fucking burning bush, bro. What's up, bro?
Oh, that's sick as shit.
Yeah. So anyway, you're very high now
Oh, yeah, man.
because there's so much smoke. You're so fucking high, Moses.
Yep.
God damn it, you're high. You're so high now. I'm about to tell you something, and you're gonna believe me.
Yeah.
I'm God. All right, here's what you need to do, Moses.
Okay, all right.
You need to go out there and you need to tell those people you spoke to God, okay?
All right, because you're God, right?
Yeah, I'm God.
Okay, cool. As long as you're God, I'll do whatever you say.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just stood up and I lost my vision. Because I'm so high right
Yeah,
now. I
you
lost
should-
my vision for a little
You
bit.
should take magnesium pills for your blood circulation.
Sorry, I'm eating a Hot Pocket. Ham and cheese. Fuck, this is good. Oh, I'm fucking baked. So anyway, yeah, like I was saying, I'm God. I need you to go out there and I need you to start a war for thousands and thousands of years. All right, anyway, God told you to do that. See
All
you,
right.
Moses.
What? Now I found Halliburton.
Yeah. I turn you into Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney saw a burning bush
Yeah.
in the desert, but it was the devil. Yeah. Honestly, that would make a lot of sense, you know.
He brings down the tablets. It just says war on them. Just a picture of an AK-47
Right.
chiseled into the rock.
The tablet says increase the stockholders' values.
The dablets.
Right. The tablets are just the tablets.
And the 10 crack commandments. Bring it down the tablets.
Wait,
On
you're
Mount Sinai? Mount Imhai?
Mount I'm high.
Mount
See,
I am high.
We could write a Seth Rogen movie. We
Yeah.
could do it.
Hell yeah.
Do you guys want to hear about a script I read that was supposed to star Seth Rogen, and it was a guy from a rap group? Damn it.
RZA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember the
Wu-Tang.
story?
Is it Hi Hitler?
No.
Okay, is that a movie I just made up, a fake Seth Rogen movie in my head?
Yeah, I think that's a dream you have every night. that you just revealed.
Hi Hitler.
Yeah. I had to read scripts that came across my quote unquote desk at Funny or Die. And one of the scripts was it was supposed to be a movie starring Seth Rogen and RZA. Mm-hmm. And the plot of the movie is that they try to start a weed company. This is like 2014.
Right.
So it was like kind of like, okay, that's cool, I guess, because like weed companies are new.
It's not your aunt starting a weed company today.
Yeah, exactly. And the idea is that RZA was playing around with his drone. He loved playing with drones. This is when drones was a new thing too.
Uh-huh.
And on accident, RZA they get too fucking baked, and they're going to use the drones to like deliver weed to people, and they accidentally take a big shipment and fly the drone to the Middle East,
Jesus Christ.
and they drop a shitload of weed across the Middle East on accident, and everyone just starts smoking weed over there, and they get so high that there's peace in the Middle East, and there's like no more war.
They cure Israel-Palestine.
Yes,
with weed.
literally that is the movie. And they're like, my boss was like, so what'd you think of it? I'm like, do not move forward with this in any way. This is the worst fucking idea I've ever read.
That
in
is
my
the
life.
most 27-year-old Hollywood writer whose dad like worked in the business screenplay of all time. It's like, well, what do I know about? I know about smoking weed and Hollywood, and I know about being Jewish. So I'm going to combine that all into the most boring movie of all time.
If Abraham and Isaac just like would fucking just get straight up baked, you know what I mean? It's just like it could solve all their problems. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
tree of knowledge of good and evil. I mean, when you really think about it, it was an apple. Like, you know what I mean? They always say apple day keeps the doctor away, dude. You know what I mean? And then but really think about it though, dude, like God put like a hella ganj in the, you know what I mean?
In the garden?
In the garden,
Yeah,
dude.
dude,
It's
yeah.
like fucking ganj. There was hella hallucinogenic mushrooms. I'm pretty sure there was like DMT excreting frogs up in there.
Well, you know the cherub that was guarding guarding the garden with the flaming sword. That was just a bong that he was lighting up.
That was
and
just
waving around.
It was just a guy doing like those
fire
glow
things.
stick. He was doing glow stick dancing.
Hey, can we get back in the garden? He just keeps dancing. We'll talk to him.
You got any more chicks?
No chicks, no garden, buddy.
The Lord banned them from the garden because they didn't have any chicks with them.
They would never get in the VIP section of Eden. They would never get bottle service with the snake.
Dude, there was this kid actually at our Christian university, Jace, I talked to once, and he was one of these guys that was like, I'm a libertarian. Like one of those guys, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
He's in college.
Yeah. So he's like, he's always talking about, yeah. It was Doug Stanhope.
Here's all my beliefs. Agree with them or I hate you.
Yeah, literally that type of guy. And he's one of those, he's one of those guys, he's too much of a pussy to leave the church. So he like makes up a new religion, but he still thinks he's like the one true version of what a Christian should be. Which, if you like read the Bible, you can't do any of the stuff he's doing, like premarital sex and all that stuff. But he has the superiority complex of a very, very conservative Christian and all the obnoxious personality attributes of a like a rave guy.
Yeah. He's
it's
basically
the worst guy.
He's Wasp Ben Shapiro, like the exact same thing.
How long did you guys date?
So he would do I was having a conversation with him. He's like, yeah, I smoke weed. And I smoked weed at the time. I didn't care.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huh. So I was like, but he was acting like
interesting.
He was acting like it was cool. Kevin.
Yeah. Interesting.
Stop.
Just didn't know that.
Stop attacking me.
I didn't know you were that. I didn't know you were that cool.
Kevin, no one attacks anyone on this podcast.
Unless it's you and me.
No, I've never attacked you on this podcast. I might start attacking you if you're going to come at me like that.
Oh, you come at me, bro. And you know what I'm going to do?
Because
I'm going to use your momentum like water, and I'm going to use it to actually hurt you.
Yeah, you're going to build a dam.
Dude, come at me, bro.
Well, I'm the last fucking airbender. And if you're going to come
You're the
in
last
there
fucking
as a
gender
water
bender,
bender.
most likely. the last gender.
gender.
The last air gender. Yeah. It's like instead of the Earth Nation, it's like the male nation, the female nation, non-binary nation, dogkin nation. Dogkin is my favorite gender out of all.
You've heard that.
Infinite genders that exist.
You've heard somebody
by the way,
refer to themselves as.
I mean, I saw a retarded person on the internet that everyone was making fun of. So yeah.
So there, yeah.
I was literally looking up the other day because I was straight up to ask people. I'm like, how many genders are there? Because I was just wondering, like the correct answer, like I'm running for
there's no agreed answer.
The DSA president. So the answer, according to Siri, I asked Siri. I go, Siri, how many genders are there? And then my phone just shut off.
Dude, you should ask Siri right now just to see what it says.
No, I asked it, and it basically pulled up this quote from the DSA. President in chief, Condoleezza Rice. And it said, well, theoretically, because a gender is whatever somebody identifies to be, there can be as many genders as there are people existing.
Yeah, I've heard that one too.
So there can be up to 6.5 billion
and
genders.
some people would be offended by that because they'd say there's no gender at all. So you can't not offend someone with whatever you think about that.
And at that point, I'm like, all right, but I'm like, okay, I get what you're trying, but fuck off also, because that sucks.
Yeah.
You suck.
It's so fucking annoying.
Oh, can I finish my story?
Please.
Yeah, sorry.
So the
but
guy
also come at me, bro.
fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you, Kevin.
You know what? Fuck you 2 times.
Fuck you 3 times.
Oh, well, let's keep going. 5.
You skipped to 5?
Yeah.
See, you fucked me 4 times and 5
Hey,
times.
fuck you as many times as there are genders. All right, how about that?
Oh, wow.
Wow, you fucked me 0 times.
All right, tell your story.
So he's like,
there I was,
he's like, yeah.
fist deep in this man.
He's like, so I smoke weed. Like, I smoke weed just with a stank on it. I'm like, yeah, I smoke sometimes.
Right.
He goes, it's like, he's like, asked me about church. I'm like, no, I don't go to church. And he's like, yeah, I don't think, I think a lot of people in the Bible actually smoked weed. I was like, okay. Like, I'm literally walking away and he's just following me. He's like, dude, think about it. It says Jesus and his disciples would meet in basements
No.
Dude, what do you think people do in basements? I'm like, oh, God.
He was a gamer, dude. He was a gamer.
He thought it was his mom's basement. Like Jesus is yelling up the stairs, like, "Mom, where's our chalky mill?"
Incel Jesus.
Yeah, incel. Well, he never fucked, so he wasn't incel.
He wasn't incel.
No. He was a volcel.
I like incel more.
But he did it on purpose.
I like if Jesus was trying to fuck all the time and he still couldn't.
What if
like
there
he's
was-
doing miracles at the bar, like trying to impress women? He's like, "Oh, 2 drinks, 5,000 drinks. Look at that." And they're like, "I'm still not gonna fuck you, you idiot."
I love how if he's dying on the cross and Mary Magdalene's down there with all her friends, they'll be like, this truly was the Son of God. I can't believe it. Lived a sinless life. You know, his mom was a virgin. And the lady goes, "Oh, sinless life?" They go, yeah. Like, I hate to do this. I mean, he's right there dying on the cross, but I fuck Jesus all the time.
Jesus hit my back walls.
Is this true? Is this true?
I do like the idea of Jesus came back from the dead because he was so horny that he like woke back up.
He's like, "Fuck me in the holes in my hands. I'm that horny."
He's jacking off through his own palm.
Yeah, through the stigmata.
He's sticking his
Yeah.
stick through the
Like,
stigmata
look,
and
I-
jacking himself off.
I saw them. I felt the hole in his side and the lotion on his hands.
And Jesus asked for just a bit of cum on a sponge to be placed upon his lips.
Oh, he's gay now too.
Or pussy juice, whichever one you want it to be. Yeah.
Can you imagine being that horny that you're like, could you just put some pussy juice on that sponge?
There's people so horny they like to smell panties, which is insane to me.
Bro, did I ever tell you about the commercial for? There's literally a commercial out there for. I literally think it's called Vulva perfume. Or like
No, this was an SNL commercial.
It is not. My buddy worked for the CW, and so he would get advertising packets from potential advertisers. Mm-hmm. And one of them was for this company. And no shit, you can look this shit up online. We actually probably should. Look, I think it's called like Vulva Cologne or Vulva Scent or something. But it's vulva cancer. That's what it first. There it is, right there. Vulva original.
Okay. Can we throw this up? And
Yeah,
we'll
please throw this up.
Yeah, it'll be okay for YouTube.
You're gonna get horned up. I'm gonna tell you right now, because this shit will horn you up. You got to turn the volume on because it's so.
It looks like
retarded.
an X, like old.
Full screen this shit, bro. It's the creepiest commercial I've ever seen.
Jesus, lady, sweaty on a bike. Oh my god. Her sweaty pussy's got on the bike seat and he wants to smell it.
Dude, just wait. This is the creepiest commercial I've ever
For the
seen.
trainer, for the listener, it's a trainer watching a hot woman work out, and he's like, she's sweating into her bike seat. Like you see her fucking taint like rubbing into the tip of her bike seat.
They sent this to the CW to be like, can you guys promote our brand?
So she's getting off the bike seat,
Watch this.
walking away from the bike seat. And now he's smelling it! He's smelling the bike seat! No! He's smelling the fucking bike seat!
Look, watch.
Okay, so now he's opening a bag with the bike seat in it. He took the bike seat out. And he's smelling it again! Just on the street.
He's just, he laughs to himself.
You think he sawed the bike seat off with a chainsaw?
Vulva original.
Jesus Christ.
Vaginal scent. The intimate scent of a beautiful woman.
And there's Chinese lettering down there. Their defense for submitting it to the CW stands for the Chinese Wigger Network.
All right. Dude, I could not.
Very good. I do appreciate that.
By the way,
Half Wigger, half Chinese.
Yeah.
the first time we watched that, it was back in the
Like he's
day.
Superman.
We would do. I would do these Friday night man nights with a bunch of dudes, a bunch of Christian dudes.
What were their
Just
names?
Come over. Billy, Bobby, Timmy, Tammy, whatever. I don't believe in names.
Right.
And I just remember like two of the Christian guys just like, I can't watch this. We can't be watching this. Just like, it's a fucking retarded commercial. No, it's real. He brought the whole promo pack. So he had one of the scents. He had the commercials. There was like 3 different commercials, but we he literally passed around the thing. It's fucking ridiculous.
I love that in the commercial, the guy smelling the bike seat is like this super hot model, because the real version of that would just be an 800-pound man who, Ben, you'll enjoy this, drove his rascal scooter over to the bike seat and started smelling.
That's right.
He starts rocking himself back and forth till he eventually turns over the rascal scooter so that he can get down to where the bike seat is.
All out of breath from smelling too much.
Yeah.
He rubs the microphone from his gamer headset on the bike seat and then puts his gamer headset on, and he's just sniffing it as he's playing.
Like he's Bill Clinton with a cigar.
Yeah.
You saw that video, Kevin, of that guy. It was at a gaming conference, and there's like some hot woman there, like basically running the conference. They're all sitting down watching a speech. And so the speech ends like for the introduction of the gaming conference.
Yeah.
She gets up from her seat, just like at a Hotel Marriott, like just meeting area.
Yeah.
Conference room.
With like 1,000 people there. He doesn't realize there's a live webcam on him.
Jesus Christ.
So she gets up from her seat and like just walks to like take their 15-minute break before they go to their next activity. He gets down on one knee, pretends he's tying his shoe, and just buries his fucking head in the seat, like sniffing it, like rubbing his fucking nose in it.
Jesus.
And the chat just blows up. People go crazy.
That's like a dog who finds another dog's shit and just rolls in it. That's real?
Yes, that's a real video. Jesus. And you're just like, this kid, if he doesn't shoot up a school after this goes viral, I mean, what a pussy.
I could you get like superpowers from being that horny? Like, I can't even imagine being that, like
he's the Flash because he's running to smell pussy that quickly.
Yeah, and he's on stage at a conference, and he's just slamming his nostrils into the seat of some random woman.
Right.
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't get that
following
at all.
her into the bathroom with like a shoe cam. Now that I get. That I can get behind. But this smelling stuff.
You're like John Candy in a Splash where he has a little mirror on the top of his shoe.
Oh God, I didn't see that.
That's like the very first scene of Splash is John Candy, who's like the fun, lovable character. He's like walking up to women on the subway, and he's got a little mirror on the bottom of his shoe, and he's just like looking at their pussies up their dress.
Jesus.
And that's how bad fucking the 80s were, that people were like, this crazy cat.
He's a good guy though. He really is a good guy. He makes a lot of hidden camera pornography, but honestly, a sweet kid.
Yeah, sweet kid.
Sweet kid.
Sweet kid.
He loves eating.
I would love like a James Bond, like when Q gives him all the equipment in the James Bond movies.
Yeah.
But it's all these like different things, like take pictures of women's pussies and see women's pussies like under the skirt.
It looks like an ordinary tampon, but it's actually a sponge that you can later take out.
These are X-ray goggles. They will go through any cotton briefs or underpants for a woman.
It looks like an ordinary pen, but tap it twice and it becomes a pocket pussy. He's got a cyanide pill in his tooth in case he gets too horny in action.
It's just Viagra.
Yeah, Viagra.
He has a false tooth filled with Viagra.
Yeah, although I think that is a very funny Brendan Crick joke.
Is it really?
Tweet. Yeah. So just wanted to shout out Brendan Crick.
What's the Brendan Crick tweet?
He goes having a cyanide tooth, but for Blue Chew for when I get too horny on dates.
Nice.
You can just bite into it real quick.
That's good. My wife won't let me use any type of male enhancement.
Performance enhancing drug?
Yeah, she says it's already too good. That's what she told me. I go, well, it'd be cool, if I could just be The Rock all night,
Back when I was dating my ex, my roommate I was living with at the time, he went down to Mexico and he bought a bunch of Viagra, and I had never tried it before. He's like, you want to like try it out? And I was like, isn't that dangerous? He's like, no, just take like half of it. You'll be like totally fine. And I was like, okay, my girlfriend was coming over. Like we hadn't seen each other in a couple days. So I'm like, we're going to have sex. And then so I pop half of it. My dick just gets ramrod straight.
Yeah.
Like within 30 minutes. And I'm losing blood pressure. So my field of vision
get the fuck out
is
of here.
narrowing. I'm getting like a black spot in the middle of my field of vision. Because if you're not supposed to take it, it's like very dangerous for you. And I'm like, I need to get rid of this boner. So she comes over and immediately is just like, I have a really bad migraine. I'm sorry, I can't tonight. At that point, I just had to be like, hey, I'm going to level with you. I took half of Viagra and I'm about to die right now. So can you just give me the world's saddest hand job so I can get this over with?
Did it work?
No, I stayed hard for like a couple more hours.
That's what I hear.
It was brutal.
So she has like a cold steak on her head while she's jacking you off.
Like a bag of peas. Yeah. She's like jerking me off while she's throwing up on the toilet.
Yeah.
It's a migraine. I get lupus attacks when I have them. If I gotta jack you off, I guess.
Would you fuck your wife if she was like on her deathbed and she was dying?
If she wanted me to.
What if she was like all gross and like Holocausty? Like she was all like bones.
Yeah, boned up.
Yeah.
I mean, I love her. You know what I mean?
Like she has that bad hospital breath. Her hair looks like shit. She
Bring
has
it
no
on.
makeup on. Her tits are small now.
That actually changes a lot. So, and
it's her last dying wish.
it's just to get fucked one more time.
Right, one time.
Could you I just want somebody to have horrible sex with me one more time before I go.
Just one time before I die. I want
Just
to not
one-
come one more time.
One more time before I go. I want to have to use artificial lubricant because I'm not actually ever turned on by my husband. Just one last time, I want to pretend that my husband is good at sex. And I would be like, well, sure, fine. I put on some knee pads on my hips so their bony ass cheeks don't fuck me up. You know what I mean? Yeah,
That is a problem. If you fuck
That's
really
so sweet.
skinny women,
I couldn't.
I fucked like
Don't even bring it up, bro. I don't even want to imagine it.
I would never fuck a skinny woman.
I know. I had to. It was
They're so ugly.
It was an emergency.
They're so unattractive.
I was in a plane that was going down in the Atlantic, and I was like, "This is my last shot."
You got to have a bit of a dumper, or otherwise you're gonna fuck. I mean,
No, it was because she literally she was so thin. She wasn't anorexic. She was just a naturally very thin, very
Sure.
skeleton-y type person, and her fucking pubic bone was like cutting into my goddamn my fucking top of my dick area. Like my dick hurt for like 2 days afterwards because her fucking like knife of a hip was just going into my fucking gut the whole time.
Dude, any woman under 300 pounds shouldn't be allowed to have sex. Get that cowardly shit out of my face.
Yeah.
Your skinny fucking stomach and your abs.
I want to fuck
you.
I want a woman brave enough to die early.
I don't mind if a woman's skinny. I just,
Ugh.
she's got to have.
What do you hate, fatties? What do you hate, brave, beautiful, fat fucking women?
Yeah, that's what. When I say BBWs, I mean brave women. That's what.
Brave, brave.
No, I think you got to have a little bit of, a little bit of cushion.
Yeah.
For the pushing.
For the pushing.
Right.
Especially if I'm going to commit to my whole life with you. You know what I mean? Because I'm assuming you guys are talking about women that you're married to, right?
Right. Yeah. Every woman I've had sex with, I've married before.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be expensive.
Me and Katie haven't had sex yet.
I'm so proud of you for that.
Yeah. We're waiting until one of us dies first.
As every Christian man should.
That's right.
Like that article. You remember that article we found that one time where it was a Christian couple.
Yes.
And they were like, you can probably sum it up better than I can because I barely remember it. But you know what I'm talking about.
Well, this is not that uncommon of a thing. I think Kevin knows Christian couples like this, is that even though they're married, they still think it's not time for them to have sex yet until God tells them it's okay.
Jesus
and they've been
Christ.
married over a decade.
And by they, we mean the woman is saying that.
And the guy is cool with it because he's actually gay.
Right, of course.
The guy's always gay, and the woman is so fat she can't be
in
fucked.
some situations, the guy is not gay, but he's literally that desperate for sex. He's like, I gotta stay married to her, and maybe in like a month she'll fucking give it up.
I've
He's that
never
horny.
known anybody to actually rationalize it because biblically, it's actually incorrect. You're not married until you fuck. That's actually what the Bible says. You got to get deep in them guts. That's what the Bible says.
Right, you got to go to those back walls and put a ring right on it.
That's one of the 10 crack commandments.
That's right.
On the dablets.
Yeah, you got to stab that uterus, or the Lord doesn't even know what's up. He has to see.
In fact, you're not married until you fuck good one time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got to eat that box. That's what it's in Corinthians, I think.
First or second.
No, but I know plenty of people that didn't have sex after they got married just because the guys were incredibly nice and the women were for lack of a better word, just damaged. They just had,
Yeah, you get fucked up about your sexuality, and you can't be a sexual being without being ashamed.
Well, and
I wonder what that's like.
the fucked up thing about, going through life, you can get your sexuality fucked up so easily, and then you throw religion onto it to where your entire life you're getting a thumbs up from all the leaders in your life because you abstain from sexual immorality.
Yeah. Well, there's a common thing with women who grew up in the church specifically, where they can't have sex for the first maybe year that they start doing it,
Especially for you, I imagine.
No, literally because it's like I forget the medical term for it, but it's a shame.
Tight pussy syndrome?
Tight pussy syndrome. Here at the Tight Pussy Syndrome charity, we make sure that the pussy always loose enough.
This is Dr. Valentine here. You're going to whisper in your ear and just get you to relax. We're going to play some nice Lionel Richie on the jukebox. And we got lotions of various lavenders we're going to be spraying throughout the room.
We're giving you a special kind of treatment I like to call the Lady in Red syndrome.
Yeah. Baby, you so brave. Baby, you so strong.
But their vaginal walls literally tighten up when they try to have sex because of...
I don't know why that got me.
Because I said vaginal.
They're vaginal walls.
Right. Tighten up when they're trying to have sex because of shame. So they can't, it's like trying to stick your dick in a brick wall. You just can't do it.
Oh, you watch me. All right. Watch me.
Kevin can get it in between the brick where the cement is.
Do you think anybody's trying to fuck the Wailing Wall?
Kevin's dick is like a little plant you see growing through a brick wall. And you're just you know what? It's all about perseverance.
You got to put it in soft. and then you bust through that wall. You know what
it's like a car jack system. You put it in soft, get it wide, open it up.
It's like the Blob just squeezing through a vent.
Oh, like an octopus when it squeezed through a dime-sized hole.
I get on the other side, and then that's when I blow it up.
So, Ben, anyway, the potato story. All right, blew the ending for it.
What?
The Christian couple that waited. We weren't talking about the same thing?
I was talking about that the one about the big fat lady and the bowl cut guy that didn't fuck.
Is that a C.S. Lewis story?
Yeah, it's the 10th book in the Chronicles of Narnia series.
Big fat lady and the bowl cut boy.
Yeah. Aslan's just over there yeah, why don't you fuck her? Shit. It's me, Aslan. Yeah. The fucking lying bitch and the whore that drove me to kill myself.
I want to know what story you're talking
There's a
about.
dildo in the wardrobe.
Right.
So finish your story. They just couldn't fuck, and then they were trying to justify it.
For some reason, this video was on the news. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
They were that horny.
Local couple decides never to bone.
I think it literally was they actually weren't fucking. And if someone is not having sex that much, as in ever, it's literally newsworthy because they're Jesus, we've never heard of such a fucking thing.
Yeah. No, I was I was like the king of a parade once because I was a 23-year-old virgin who'd never had sex with anybody, and they put me on the front.
Were they doing the hip hip hooray thing?
No,
there
was a bunch of neon fingers and a big sign that said "faggot" over the top.
And Kevin's wearing white gloves like the Queen of England, and he's waving just politely to people. And the kids, instead of him throwing candy, the kids come up and they just throw change at him.
Yeah,
just stinging him in the face
and eggs. Yeah, it was. It was a good time. A lot of guys would go get a full big gulp and just huck it at me.
An entire icy.
Yeah,
he doesn't even throw it. He jams it into your face.
And here, the king of the pussy parade is Kevin Tinker. On the front here, you'll notice that all the children are pointing and laughing at him.
You're just getting popped with towels. Just popping the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Well, bitch.
You know what's been making me laugh for 5 minutes?
Right.
Did you see 8th Grade, the movie?
Yeah.
Did you see it too, Kevin?
It's a really great movie.
What if I wish I could have gone to see it in theaters, and then when the 8th grade girl, she doesn't take her shirt off in the car, I stand up and I go, God damn it! Fuck! I turn around, I'm like, I thought they were gonna fuck! Shit! God damn it!
And then you do that, and every single guy stands up with you. You're fucking right, man. I wanted to say it. We all wanted to fucking say it.
You walk up
Make
to
them fuck.
You walk up to the ticket booth. You're like, look, it says PG-13. I thought we was going to see some titties.
Make them fuck. Make them fuck.
Yeah.
They lead Bo Burnham in on that. Have you seen Oh Brother Where Art Thou when they bring him
the
in
big
on the
rail.
Yeah, they're playing the fiddle.
They
and stuff.
tar and feather Bo Burnham because he didn't make them fuck in 8th grade. And one of the most horrific scenes in the movie. You're worried this poor
really
girl's about to get raped.
Well, I mean, it's a movie, though, man. It ain't really happening, though.
Yeah, great
She's,
movie.
the scene where she's gonna start masturbating and she like puts her hand down and then the dad bursts in. I go, come on! What the fuck? I'm not gonna see any damn pussy in this movie. Honey, just sit down. The movie's almost over.
Honey, here, take my iPhone and just watch porn. Like, fine, fucking bitch.
You got my vulva in that purse? I need to smell something.
You got my VR headset so I can watch some pornography.
What? So what's
sorry, end of your story. We got to...
That was the end of my story.
Okay, so the end of my
and
story...
Once upon a time, they didn't fuck.
Mine gets even crazier. It was an article...
the happiest woman in the world.
Right?
She's literally like, this is great. I had no idea this was an option.
Man, you know that man gay. You ain't giving him any pussy and he ain't leaving you.
Who is this?
The Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Ben Scat Williams.
It's just a pile
Shat
of
Williams.
He's just a short pile of shit with a pimp suit on. Hey, I'm Scott Williams. I'm a piece of shit.
The same haircut on a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like that big flowy curly one he had.
So
My story was somebody found this in like a Christian weekly magazine and tweeted it, and it went kind of viral. It was a couple talking about how they had been married for 3 years and they decided to stay abstinent until the Lord revealed to them when the time was right to actually have sex. And so they keep waiting and waiting. They go, yeah, of course, sometimes, we're tempted and we make out. And then when we get especially, too excited, I take a cold shower, and then my husband Ralph goes into the other room and he eats a whole potato raw to stop him from being horny.
Same video.
Yeah, that's the ending to it. Is the guy was so horny to make himself not horny, he would eat a raw potato whole.
Because it just ruins his night, right? Yeah.
Yeah, literally like torturing himself.
Like he's just eating gravel in the backyard.
like
grinding it up with
He's
his
just
teeth.
eating a shotgun bullet.
Yeah.
Like, just like pellets and shit.
That's so fucked up,
Yeah,
man.
it's very fucked up.
That's so distorted too. Like what church is preaching that?
I don't know. It's just people go crazy, man. They want to be the best and the brightest,
Yeah.
People
I
want to
get
be
it.
the Marines of Christianity.
They really do.
Yeah.
I never have said a swear in my whole life.
Right. They're like, by the air, by the land, by the sea, I will never have sex.
Ben's just feeling his nipples over there.
Well, I'm shirtless. Can I walk the non-binary thing back? I feel bad.
Okay, well, let's talk about the non-binary thing.
Yeah, this is brain jail. You
Yeah.
feel free.
I don't actually. I think you can be non-binary. I just saw this video by this non-binary group on Twitter, and it pissed me off. Before we
Right.
started.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
I think you could totally be non-binary or whatever. Like you're like, oh, I don't feel like a man or a woman. It's like
Right.
that's fine. I just don't know why people have to make it part of their personality. That's
Right.
what bothers me.
No, I get that. And I was just, the reason I am more interjected is I felt like it was coming across more as just like, we hate non-binary people and they suck, which is, I don't think true. You just hate people that are annoying for any group. You hate annoying Christians. You hate annoying
just kinda
non-binary.
like, you know what, man? It's a lot of hard work to get a personality. And you just got to do it. I'm sorry if you're listening out there and you're like a DSA guy and that's like your whole thing.
Oh, that's a possibility. Somebody who's in the DSA is literally
all those people are
65
full of
minutes
shit.
into our podcast.
all
There's
those
a lot
people
of
are full of shit.
There's a lot of DSA people who are into like subversive, like come town type humor.
It's
like for real.
it's insane. That's insane.
Yeah, if you actually hang out with some hardcore DSA people, they're like making the same jokes as you.
Yeah.
They don't care about the
Yeah.
PC stuff.
Most irony bros are libertarians, I think, for the most part. Most people who are very into irony, unless they completely suck and don't get that it's being ironic,
Right.
are very like, usually intelligent and get they're like, yeah, this is fucked. Big banks are controlling the world,
Right.
all this type of
Politically, I lean very far to the left, but I also watch InfoWars.
shit. Right. Because you think it's funny.
Yeah.
I drew a picture of this for Instagram.
And it is funny.
I'm saving your career.
And it is funny.
And it is funny.
Thank you.
I drew a picture on Instagram.
Got you, bitch. I don't watch it.
No, I'm falling into a big pit with spikes.
With peppies at the bottom. It's just big spiked peppies.
That's how you kill the Predator in the movie Predators. You just pasted an Alex Jones cassette over a big pit full of spikes.
Wait, how does he actually kill the Predator in it?
He has a booby trapped the Predator
Booby trap.
like the kid from the Goonies.
A titty trap.
Right. He has a big pair of titties, and the Predator gets so horny that his mandibles just like break off of his head because he's so horny.
Arnold Schwarzenegger dresses up like a female predator.
Like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
He like
I love your dreadlocks
Right.
and your weird sideways mouth.
It's kind of fools the audience because I think it's like he battles him and then like his first trap doesn't work and he's like, oh shit, I gotta run, and he's running and you think he's about to get fucking murked by the Predator, but he's actually leading the Predator into a second trap he had.
Yeah.
And then I think a big log comes out of the woods and basically like crushes the Predator, and then he sets off that atomic bomb that's on his wrist, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger outruns an atomic bomb.
Yeah.
Really?
In 30 seconds. Yeah.
Damn.
It's one of my favorite movies. I've seen it so many times.
Me too. I watched that a bunch when I was a kid. We used to stay in the backyard at my buddy Aaron Allison's house, and he was like backyard was all jungly and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like. We'd like be like fake army guys, in the back. We watched that. I remember watching Predator for the very first time, and then staying in his backyard that night as like a 10-year-old. Oh, dude, it was
You're shaving with a big Bowie knife, like the movie. Yeah, ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah.
As you sip from a juice box.
No, I mean, seeing two 10-year-olds walk up and like hard handshake on the wrist, after that.
Right.
Dude, I remember I had a machete.
Really?
At like 10 years old. Yeah.
Jesus.
I had a shotgun. I mean, I had all this shit.
Yeah,
I basically
Fresno,
was a
dude.
Texas boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, just going through the backyard of his house and like, shing, shing, shing. Oh,
Just cutting electrical lines and important shit.
No, it's like he had all these like overgrown bushes and shit. So we'd walk back through,
Right.
Get a bunch of ticks and black widows all over us and shit. It was good times.
I remember I was very into the idea of shaving as a kid. In fact, I made my parents buy me a Jurassic Park themed fake shaving kit. That was just I swear to God,
I don't remember that.
It was because I saw my grandpa I never really bonded with, but one time he was just shaving and I watched
Yeah.
him and he was kind of teaching me how you do. He's like, you can't do it yet, but this is how you do it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a very sweet moment for me.
Yeah.
And
especially-
Dad definitely never taught us.
Yeah, I
like
remember.
not getting a lot of affection that age, so that was a very tender moment for me. So I think I kept trying to recreate that. So I got this for Christmas, like this little Jurassic Park. It was basically like, it looked like a razor, like a throwaway razor. Had no blade in it, of course. And then this little can of Jurassic Park shaving cream, and I would put it on and I would just scrape it off with this fake plastic.
That's awesome.
In the sink and like wash it off and pretend I was like a little businessman going off to work.
That's awesome.
Which is so funny. Now I hate shaving. Like, it literally makes me want to die.
but I think every boy, like as a kid, you wish you were shaving.
You wish you were a man.
Yeah. It was so weird that Jurassic Park would put their name behind a pretend shaving.
Dude, that was
kit.
the mid '90s. They would slap any fucking crap with
absolutely.
a popular, movie, and kids would fucking buy it.
Get your own G.I. Joe pap smear kit.
This made me spit dip all over the table.
Dude, I remember I was obsessed with my dad's razor. Like when I was growing up, I'd always I put it up to my wrist. I'd be like, I'm going to do it. No, but
You're wearing Joker makeup.
I always have had a weird thing with instruments, like things like that with tiny areas in it being
Right.
dirty. That's always been a problem.
Drives
with
you
me.
nuts.
It drives me nuts. So
Right.
I don't like a dirty razor. It just bothers me. Like even like these vape things, you see me clean it. I'll clean it off on my shirt all the time because like the idea of it being dirty in
Right.
here just creeps me out. But I remember taking my dad's razor and it had little hairs in it, and I would like try to get, my mom would flip out like, don't you touch that. And then I'm like, and then one time I went in to take a shower and my dad's razor was there. And it was dirty, and I started trying to clean it, and of course I went
Right.
like that, and I sliced the shit out of my thumb.
Right.
And then I'm just like trying to hide it. I'm like 7 years old. I'm trying to hide that I have this huge cut. I'm like bleeding through an old T-shirt, and my mom's like, "What'd you do?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I don't know.
I got hit by a baseball.
Yeah, the dog. The dog did.
Dad hit me.
Yeah. I used to blame shit on the dog all the time.
Yeah, of course, you got to do it.
All right, who fucked your sister, Kevin? The dog did
The
it.
dog.
It was the dog. The dog
Yeah,
fucked
the
her.
dog ate my ass.
Duchess is so horny.
I'm gonna get a water real quick.
hey, Mom?
If you guys want to fight on the podcast
Hey,
while I'm gone.
Hey, I'm still doing a bit. Then we'll
Okay.
fight. Hey, Mom.
Yeah?
Mom, the dog has been jacking off into all my socks and throwing them behind the bed.
I don't know why. I don't know why, Mom.
What are you getting?
Water.
Oh, I have water. I want something sweet. Can you grab me a cream soda Zevia?
Yeah, grab me one too.
Oh, they're not cold though, right?
No.
God damn it.
Still want it?
Yeah. I wish it was cold though.
Hey, Ben, I've been really thinking about this. I'm going to start smoking crack. So how about that? I think I really am going to start smoking weed all day, every day again.
Really?
It's so cool. It's
Yeah?
so dope, dude. I just like when I'm driving, and I'm high out of my fucking mind, and just the constant weight of the potential life throwing away of getting a DUI, because I like to get lit. You know what I mean? And I'm a bad boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I've seen your jacket.
Right? Nobody wears a leather members only jacket.
Yeah.
That's not a badass.
Yeah.
And I think once we get just some more sponsorships, maybe if you're a weed company out there, hit me up. I'm ready to throw my fucking life away. I just want to get baked. You know what I mean?
dude.
Because what would be great too is like, because I'm going to be 40 here in a couple years, then 50, 60, 70, it's all going to come. And,
Yeah, it's over for you.
it's over. I mean, it's over. I'm never going to accomplish anything. I'm never going to do shit with my life because I'm
Just gonna get dumber.
just
And
going to get stupider.
fatter.
But when
uglier.
I'm older, what I can do is, Ben, like I'll be full retarded, full on just mentally handicapped as possible. And then I'll start going to church again. And then I'll be like, the devil's lettuce, it really caught me. And then I'll have an excuse.
Yeah.
But I'll have a great testimony about how I once was a brilliant comedian. And then but it won't even have to be true. It'll just be lore at that point. I could have made it. I could have gone all the way. But I smoked my brains out.
Yeah.
So that's my plan.
Are you guys talking about a victim? Playing the victim? Is that what you're talking
No,
about?
Kevin was ironically saying he wants to smoke a bunch of weed, but I think he was being honest.
No, I'm being honest. I just want to be a fucking stoner all the time and just kill myself with
that a real
weed.
bit?
Yeah, with weed.
I think, I don't know if you were doing a bit or not, because I was going to get you guys Zevious, which you didn't thank me for.
He was doing a bit
Thank
about
you very
wanting to be
much.
high all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's not a bit.
I think it feeds into a real thing I have been thinking about a lot recently, which is playing the victim, which I think is a real thing.
Great song.
What's the song?
It just sounded like you're like, I pull out my acoustic and I play the victim.
Oh, it's an instrument.
Yeah.
It's by Elliott Smith.
Right.
Yeah.
I pull like a big oboe looking thing, and it's just like, my back hurts too much to work.
The entire world is in front of me and it won't let me do shit ever. I try so hard, but nobody. It's the Desperado
Sucks
song.
my dick.
Desperado. Why don't you
I'm a
stop
victim.
pretending to have depression?
I couldn't do anything good because the world is unfair for me.
No, I was just-
Suck a gay guy.
You were thinking about playing the victim.
Sorry.
I was just thinking about playing the victim, where it's, I've been going to therapy for a year now, and it seems like every time I go, I'm just like, this sucks, and this fucking sucks, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And things really haven't gotten better in terms of like me fixing. In fact, I think a lot of times things have gotten worse because I've been more acknowledging my depression or whatever. And I think I've gotten to the point where it's like, oh, I think I realize that's a trap you can fall into, especially if you're a person trying to fix yourself. You can fall into that trap of like, well, I have depression, so I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I have all these goals I want to achieve and like this life I want to live. And that's scary. It's scary to try because
Yeah.
I could fail. And so
100%.
how do I save myself from failing? I go, I have an anxiety disorder. Like I could do all these things if it wasn't for like this world that was against me. The world was built.
Right.
So I couldn't achieve any of these things.
Right.
And that's just the thing I've been thinking about recently. I've been really trying to embrace just fucking accountability, you know?
Yeah.
Like I've been on a diet now for like 3 weeks, which I know that's like, how many times have you heard me fucking say that? But it feels really different this time where it's like, no, it's like, if I want to eat something, I'm like, well, you ran out of calories today. And it's like, well, fucking, that's it, you know?
Yeah.
You can eat over your calories, but then when you look in the mirror and you fucking hate what you see,
right,
that's your fault.
Yeah. Well, I think it's I think to put it in a word, it's control. You know, I think the illusion of control or the illusion of lack of control is one of those things that completely handicaps people. You know what I mean? And like, even if, because that's all it is. That's all it is right there. You know what I mean? You're going, oh yeah, but genetically, I'm blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, yeah, that may all be true. Is there anything you can do to make your life better? Yeah. Is there anything you can control at all?
I was thinking about an old professor I had in college who was his name was Dr. Malcolm Coco, really sweet guy, flew planes for the Army for 40 years, went back and got his business degree and taught and just loved teaching students. And I worked for him for a little bit. I was his TA.
Never saw him after 2001 for some reason. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, he started investigating 9/11, and then he just killed his whole family and himself in his apartment. And then he also threw his computer and hard drives away right before he did that, and nobody ever saw him again.
Shot the dog after he was dead.
We're making a joke about Philip Marshall. Philip Marshall, you should go watch the documentary on YouTube.
It's nuts.
Philip Marshall.
It's a guy who was investigating 9/11, which, if you think
he's
that's
writing
fake
a third book about
he was
it.
looking into whether it was like basically a psyop.
Yeah.
And then he did, to be fair, died very mysteriously. They're like, yeah, he just, this normally healthy man who everybody thought was pretty okay, killed his whole family one day and himself. And and by the way, nobody was able to find his computers or his hard drives. And people saw vans loading his shit into the vans and then driving them away.
Yeah, his family didn't clear out the belongings in the house. Some random van did. Anyway, this professor that you're talking about.
Professor I was talking to, I was thinking back about a lesson he really harped on his first day of classes, because I got to see him teach a couple courses over and over. He'd do the same lessons. And you talk about in business class, you always talk about like the stuff that sounds like bullshit, like the 7 habits of highly effective people and like the purpose-driven life and all this shit where you're like, all right, fuck off, buddy. You're just doing the jerk-off motion in the back of class. And the point that he had was he was talking about the locus of control, if you heard about that.
Yeah, internal, external. Locus
internal, external. So internal locus of control are people who go, no, they're people who have the general belief, they go, I have control over my life, I make my own destiny. And the people who have an external locus of control are like, no, the world really controls who I am. And he said, here's the thing, those people with the external thing are probably more right. They're probably more correct if you're just looking at reality as how it is. There's a lot of things outside your control that you're never going to be able to take control of, and they're going to manipulate how your life is, where you're born, economic status, pure intelligence, all of that stuff. He goes, but on all the studies they've done on this, he goes, like, think it's bullshit or not, everyone who has had an internal locus of control has always, for the most part, lived a quote-unquote better life.
Right.
In terms of they have taken care of themselves, or they have gone after things they wanted to, they took chances, they made their life better in a way that they wanted it to, and the people who had an external locus of control did not.
Right.
Because at a certain point, you just have to buck up and say, yeah, it's on fucking me. Nobody's going to come and save me.
Right. Yeah, it's I think that type of mentality is just, it's easier to live with that type of mentality. You know what I mean?
The internal
locus of control, because if you're constantly a victim of everything, and you might be, but if you give into that constantly and just put your hands up and just like, yeah, I just can't do shit, it is what it is, that you're going to be fucking miserable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's the shitty thing about mental health, is so much of it like comes down to, it seems like some of the times, like, to be mentally healthier, you kind of have to make yourself a little bit dumber.
Right.
Like, there's this theory called, have you heard about, I think I shared this with you, depressive realism theory, where they go, depressed people tend to actually just be...
How does it go again?
I should have sent it in a honker meme, and then you would.
No, I remember you talking about this, that you were a depressive realist.
No, I wasn't saying like I was. I just said it was an interesting theory where it's like the people who tend to have depression actually have a more honest viewpoint of the world, and that's why they tend to be depressed. Where it's like, oh, they're intelligent enough to look at the world and be like, it sucks,
Right.
We're quickly burning to death. Banks control everything. You have no chance of influencing politics at all.
Yeah.
Everybody is like kind of like spiraling out of control and in pain. And the people who are like smart enough to see that, of course, they're going to be depressed because of it. So it's an interesting theory,
Right.
And it's one they don't want to embrace so much in psychotherapy because it is such a like, well, fuck. Wait, do you mean we should tell people to be kind of dumber?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be a little bit. You have to have an ignorance is bliss thing a little bit because there are. I think it doesn't matter. Here's the deal: because if they're more depressed because they're being more realistic, they're only 90% true. You know what I mean on the fact that they're helpless and their fate is what it is. But the whole thing about depression is it's not typically brought upon real life shit. It's not an event that happens. It's typically just a man. You grossed me out for a second. I thought you were dry heaving.
No.
Like it's typically it's a mindset, it's a mentality, it's your fucking brain is broken. You know what I mean? So it's like if you can work out some sort of mental gymnastics to where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of your own life, and then you having just that illusion of control actually will create a version of control.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think the big one I've been thinking about now as it relates to that is like, yeah, you can have depression, but at a certain point you have to reject the narrative that you are a person suffering from depression or you're a person victimless to depression, because that narrative you tell yourself makes you sink into it even more and just, refuse to do the things like it'll actually make you better.
Yeah. Yeah. I recently stopped taking antidepressants.
Oh, really?
Yeah, about a week ago, and I got to get back on them.
Yeah, that's probably not a good combo with smoking weed again, too.
Yeah,
I don't want to harp on it, but
you guys are retarded. It's not the weed thing. It's really hilarious. I really think it's really funny. We should keep talking about it.
About what?
That I'm an addict because I smoke weed.
I'm not doing a bit. I'm just saying I'm worried about you as a friend. That's what I really am.
Well, let's dive into that.
Okay, because it's the same thing like Ben was saying. Like, I know Ben was attacking you a lot because he loves to play with you on the podcast.
Yeah.
And then I have to kind of stop it from happening because if I play along with Ben's bit, it'll just turn into Kevin being really upset.
That's
and
right.
then the podcast ending with the headset thrown. But I just worry like if Ben was like, yeah, I'm going to start drinking a beer a night, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I would be worried. The same thing with like you. You've admitted like you were smoking.
Yeah.
Too much.
I was smoking too much for a while. The only thing that I think my justification for it is the chemical aspect of it. There's no chemical dependency issue with marijuana. It doesn't exist. So the addiction is psychological.
Right.
And I wouldn't mind if I was addicted to weed. I wouldn't even mind if it didn't affect certain things. And the things that it was affecting and was making me frustrated with was when I was in big crowds of people and I had to perform in Los Angeles or whatever. Mm-hmm. So even if it was like, yeah, I still smoke weed every day, all day, I just don't smoke weed when I'm in a crowd of people or I've got to go up on stage and perform or whatever. So I've been trying to just fix that shit. You know what I mean? Who fucking knows?
Well, when you did remove weed from your life, a lot did improve.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so upsetting to see it back in your life.
I don't think that much improved though.
But even if it's a little bit, then it's worth it.
I think you it's
coincidental.
Right. And I, like I said, I don't mean to down talk to you at all. If you want to just stop this conversation, that's totally cool. But I think you definitely were a better person when you were sober versus not a better person, treated people differently, but just for your own self. I saw you, and of course that was driven by other factors, we can't really get into, but the amount of you seemed paranoid and beating yourself up, and you just looked generally not that great. You looked pretty
quicker to anger.
He was pretty upset. Yeah. And then just just weren't as quick. And then when I saw you get sober. So here's the thing is if you start smoking again and you're like, yeah, I smoke 3 times a week when I'm, after 8 PM or whatever, all my responsibilities are taken care of. But then, I don't want it to be if you come over here and it's 9 AM and you're like, yeah, I smoked a fucking bong when I woke up and drove over here. And then, I just do all that type of shit. I'm like, I wouldn't, I feel like I would have to say something to you as your friend.
Yeah. Well, I would hope you would.
That's my concern, is that's what I just want to make.
Well, wait for it to happen. and then say something. I don't think you're going to have to worry about that. I don't smoke weed until 10 a.m. So, I'm not up before 9.
Yeah, you're a bongs afternoon, and then I don't smoke dabs until end of work.
I'll tell you this, and I told you guys this before. You could accuse me of anything, literally anything. It doesn't have to be related. You could say I was responsible for 9/11. If you said it enough times, I would start to feel guilty about it.
Right.
So that is one of the elements of my own psychology where I'm kind of like going like, yeah, maybe these guys are maybe I am it. And then I'm going, stop. Like I have to because I'll just start to feel bad. I'll just start to feel shitty.
Right.
Even if you're, Ben's doing a bit or whatever.
Well, that's Ben's, if I can play the eternal interpreter between you two, that's Ben's way of actually caring about you, is teasing you relentlessly about smoking weed because he's worried that you're going to become, towly again.
I was never towly.
You want to get high?
Shit. I don't think I mean, I know that there was moments like that. I don't know. I don't feel like it was ever horrible. But yeah,
that's not how you sounded when you were getting off of it and were getting sober, though.
Yeah.
You were very proud of yourself. You wanted people to be proud of you. I was very proud of you. You were talking about how all these things in your life were improving. A lot of things started going your way. You were more alert. You were more present. And you seemed healthier. You seemed a lot happier when you stopped doing it.
Well, I also had just finished working at a job that I hated. I just got fired. I had just gotten fired from, Bay Alarm. There's a lot of shit. I mean, there was a lot of good shit that was happening. So now I don't feel like there's any fucking good shit that's happening. But
the podcast took off.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
It sounds a little bit like you're being selective so you can rationalize your use of it. And I will say that me harping on it does not contribute to you feeling guilty about it, because there seems to be a sense of shame with you going back to it, regardless of me commenting on it.
I disagree with that.
Then why did you hide it from the beginning when you started smoking again?
I didn't hide it.
Okay.
When did I hide it?
It seemed like you kind of hid it.
Oh, I did. I didn't know what year. I didn't have to tell you everything I'm doing. I didn't think I was going to think about it.
Okay.
I was just the one time I started was when we were at Todd's place.
Yeah.
And I thought you saw me do it, because from the very beginning of quitting, I told you from the very fucking beginning that I wasn't going sober, that I wasn't done smoking weed, that I wanted to take a 1 month break, and that 1 month break was filled with you going, I'm just so glad that you admitted you're an addict and that you're done smoking weed forever.
I feel like you're really crazily twisting the narrative now.
I
feel like you're twisting it.
I want to validate your feelings.
I don't know. I got to side with Kevin a little bit on this. You are the sober guys, so you tend to like.
I'm not the sober guy.
Since the beginning that I didn't.
You were like, near the end of the month, you're like, I'm going to stick with it again, for another month. I'm like, oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I did, and I did it for 7 months and almost 8 months, and then I was like, I want to give it a shot again. I want to get back in the ring with Mary Jane, and I don't. Like I said, I can feel bad about it, but I just think it's moralism creeping into my mind. Hey, if you see me acting the fool, just let me know.
I mean, I probably won't.
Okay.
Because you get upset.
All right. Well, fair enough.
So I probably won't say anything.
Okay. Well, thanks.
I'm just saying I probably won't.
You do remember me saying that I wasn't done forever.
Yeah, I remember that. But
And
you
you
were making a lot of
insisted.
improvement and progress, and so it kind of makes me sad to see you smoke weed again, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah. Well, what type of improvement and progress were you seeing?
In your personality.
Like how so?
You were much, much more patient. You were much more patient. You seemed much more self-loving. You seemed to have a lot more love for yourself.
Well,
there was still a lot of self-hatred there, as we all have. But you seemed to... while you were sober, you also got everything together to start this podcast, and you worked really hard on starting this. And that was that's been a great thing that we've been doing.
And this is the
I don't
last
know.
episode ever.
I don't know. You just seemed mentally healthier. You seemed more alert. You seemed more present. Because sometimes you get really high, and I try to say something to you, and you're just like smiling and giggling and staring. I'm like, I wish Kevin was sober. And I just like look back at the TV
Yeah.
because like you're different when you're high.
Well, yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I will throw Kevin a little bit of an olive branch here.
No, don't. No, I'm.
No, not to like because I like worried you feel self conscious.
I was happier when I was really drunk too.
Yeah, I think the thing is, perhaps maybe you can return and you'll be fine. I just want you to closely monitor that.
Yeah.
I think also an issue that Ben can have sometimes is he doesn't like want you to have emotions about him confronting you, and that's not necessarily a particularly fair thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Is that like you're allowed to be upset with that? But I get it from my same standpoint. You know, the amount of times I told you guys like, yeah, I'm going off bread. I'm just quitting bread forever. Never going to eat it again. And then you see me walk up the stairs with Del Taco.
Right.
And then the minute you're like, oh, and I'm like, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Because I'm so upset at myself.
Yeah, and then I
in
won't
that
say anything the
moment.
next time.
Yeah, because I'm so upset at myself in the next one. And then I see you not saying anything the next time. And I'm like, I know he's not saying anything the next time because I'm being emotional about it. But it's like, you know, it just is what it is.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, it's the complexity of
It
like.
feels like being the good guy is being the bad guy. You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're identifying yourself as being the good guy.
Well, no, if like you're concerned about someone and you want to express that concern, that's what a good person would do.
Yeah.
And then you always end up feeling like shit. You almost like 90% of the time. That's why people let me, like almost no one told me to stop drinking
Right.
for like a long time. And it's because as soon as I quit, everyone was like, I was really worried about you. I'm like, what the fuck didn't you say anything?
Yeah.
You didn't say shit to me. They're like, yeah, I thought you were going to die. I'm like, and you didn't say anything? You
Right.
said nothing? They're like, well, you're doing your own thing. I'm like, well, okay.
There
fair.
is an element of to that because people really don't listen. They, especially, you know, if they're in the middle of the street in Beverly Hills playing catch with their dogs at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really. It does really have to be a thing that you have to decide for yourself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It has to be
Yeah.
a decision.
And I think there
for
was
yourself.
also like, you know, it never got bad enough where we sat down and like, should we do an intervention on Ben? But I think there were moments where we're like, hey, maybe, you know, you shouldn't be, you're drinking kind of a lot right now, huh? And then you're like, you know, you're just drunk. So you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, whatever, you know, but it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, if it got to the point where you were like, fucking Katie had like left you and you're like homeless, I hoped at that point I would step in, but I don't know.
Right.
You know,
I mean,
maybe
you
I'm a
should come-
pussy. I don't know.
I will say this. This is the last thing I want to say. The way you rationalized continuing smoking upset me because I said, well, your life improved. And you go, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a scary rationalization to me. That you
Well-
quit something, your life improved a little bit. You're like, well, it only improved a little bit.
Look,
so I can keep smoking.
I mean, can I just be real?
Yeah.
Like, I'm fucking annoyed, man. I'm fucking annoyed with life. I'm annoyed with my career. I'm annoyed with all this bullshit.
Yeah.
And all the sideways.
that's why we're doing this podcast. 'Cause
Comments.
we're annoyed with all this shit.
Of shit, you know, all this stuff about, you know, I'm going to start wearing blackface so I can get on JFL and all that shit. That's based in a truth. That's
Yeah.
based in some real frustration
Yeah.
inside of me that I'm just like, what the fuck do I have to do out in this town
Yeah.
to get anybody to look at me at all? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I have a great set in front of Adam at the Comedy Store. He goes, yeah, you're just really not what we're looking for right now. We're looking for women. And I, you know, just straight to my fucking face.
It's fucked up. Yeah.
And just to have that shit go over and over and over and over, it just gets old after a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's plenty of justified people out there that are part of a downtrodden minority that have had, you know, a lot of bullshit in their life, a lot of discrimination that are going, well, welcome to the club, jackass. You know, it sucks. It fucking sucks. And it's really, really frustrating. So like, you know, last year, you know, I got a commercial agent, you know, now we're talking about how much that commercial agent is fucking bullshit because we're driving to Santa Monica for an hour and a half either
Yeah.
direction, getting callbacks, not getting the shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, well, what's the fucking point? You know what I mean? I can't get a goddamn theatrical agent out here because for who, God knows why, you know what I mean? I've got a better demo reel than half the people I've ever seen. Most of the people have no demo reel, and all of a sudden they got seen at Dick McGick's coffee house, and their mom's Lauren Michaels' sister or something. It's just like it's all the same bullshit over and over again. So for me to say, yeah, my life got better a little bit. There was some shit that happened, but having to ultimately not go anywhere, it's pretty fucking frustrating. You know what I mean? So that's where that's coming from.
And I get you, and I definitely feel that frustration. That was a major point of my depression, where it's like, oh, I'm really, really good at stand-up, and it just doesn't matter. The amount of times people see me crush. I'm not going to get booked on a show because there's just so many straight white guys, and they gotta you can't book them all. You know what I mean? And then also I don't fit a criteria of a necessarily woke guy or whatever. And that was very, very frustrating. Where it's like, what's the point? And then I think it's like, well, I think we're doing the right thing of moving in a different direction, where it's like you're getting into podcasting. I mean, you guys could have, we talked about. I won't talk about it on the pod because it's not a thing through yet. But you guys could have several opportunities that ultimately end up being really, really good in the future through this. I'm trying to get into drawings. I mean, my ideal dream was just I'd be a fucking big comedian, and I write on shows and just do these big podcasts, and I rise up the ranks because of my talent, and that's just not what it's going to be. So it's like, okay, well then I'll just do my own fucking thing, which is this, and the drawings are part of that and other shit. And it's like, that's what you have to do, unfortunately. That's just what life is. And I think at a certain point, I think I threw a 2-year hissy fit over that, where I was like, well, fuck this fucking sucks. And that whole time I didn't do anything. Right. Instead of being okay, reevaluating what is comedy going to be in the future. Stand up, going to club to club is not going to be the future. Sure. Writing on TV is not going to be the future. It's creating your own thing. Right. And that's what the future is. So that's what you got to redirect yourself in. And it sucks and it's unfortunate, because the reason I got onto it, because what I thought it was initially was, and it's just not that, but it's, you just got to accept it at a certain point. Right.
Well, no, I 100% agree. And, this whole time, I've been trying to do the podcast. We did Ripping and Skipping forever, we're doing this now. Mm-hmm. I never want to stop creating things. Right. I never want to stop attempting. I mean, my life mantra has always been celebrate the effort. Right. So you put effort towards something, you should be proud of yourself. Mm-hmm. Now, with that being said, me smoking weed at night, I don't feel like is an issue. And then what I'm hearing from you is that I suck.
Hold on. You went on a monologue about how life is unfair, and we agreed with you. Now, why does that mean you should smoke weed? I would like to know.
Well, why does that mean you should drink stevia?
No, but you brought it up because I was questioning your rationalization of smoking weed, and you went on that monologue about how life is unfair. No. And now you're saying, so therefore...
You said my life only improved. My justification for stopping was that my life improved just a little bit. Right. It was me explaining my life improving just a little bit.
Do you want it to be better?
Yeah, I want it to be better.
So I have no point of contention here?
I don't know.
Jordan Peterson, I was listening and he said something that made me kind of rethink everything. He said, if the game you're playing is rotten, play a different game. Yeah. And that is how I'm looking at this now. Mm-hmm. I was playing a rotten fucking game that was rigged against me, and I'm not going to worry about it anymore. And I'm not going to start drinking again. And I'm not going to be a piece of shit. I'm going to keep getting healthier, and I'm not going to let these fuckers win because they're toxic fucking parasites. They're evil people. They're bad people. They're selfish fucking people. And they're only worried about themselves. This is a generalization, Kevin.
The industry?
This isn't. They're retarded, dude. They don't know what they're doing. They're going with trends that they're reading on Twitter and through Vox articles. They don't know what's going on. They just want to keep a job, and they want to send their kids to a nice college. Right. That's all they're doing. That's why all this shit is going on, and people are trying to cash in on it, and it's fucking disgusting. And I'm not going to play that game anymore. I'm fucking done. I'm not going to start drinking again. I'm going to keep working on being nicer to people. I'm going to start getting more in tune with my emotions. If one thing I remove from my life improves it in any way, I fucking won. Every thought I have that is a true thought is a victory. Any thought I have that's a real, true, honest thought is a fucking victory over all of this that's going on. I'm done. I'm done playing this rotten game. I'm done. I'm not going to play it again. Yeah. That doesn't mean I'm never going to do stand up again. I'll probably get into stand up, but just don't let them fucking win, dude. And if that means you can go back to weed, you can go back to weed. But don't sit there and go on this monologue about how life is unfair and that rationalizes you going back to your old habits. That's all I'm saying. Because with old habits come a lot of other stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. I mean, I don't want to go back to the old habit of smoking weed all day, every day.
And
it's not the intent.
I think also a major issue here is more, maybe Kevin's right. Maybe he can go back to smoking weed or not. Take that off the table.
Yeah, maybe he can.
Take that off the table. I think more the issue is that Kevin might necessarily agree with you, but when the way you say that to Kevin is, you're a fucking addict. You know, you fucking suck. You fucking pothead. And just,
Oh, well, yeah, I'm joking around.
I know
Yeah.
you're joking around, but you're also putting him in a position now, and then you confront him later on the podcast where it's like he either has to bend the knee to you
This
or he
is the
has
good podcasting stuff here, though.
Oh, at 100%.
No, I 100% agree.
This
but
is the good shit. The fans at home are jacking off to this.
But I'm trying to wrap it up, and I think a major disconnect between you guys right now is you're putting Kevin in a position where he either has to fight back and say you're wrong, or he has to bend the fucking knee and
Yeah.
be like, you were right, Ben. I'm a fucking
Yeah.
addict piece of shit.
Well, I'm an addict,
Well,
and if
Kevin's-
I ever smoke weed again, then my life is going to be shit. It's going
Right.
to be bad, and I have to realize that I'm an addict and never smoke weed again in order for my life to
That's
improve.
not what I said at the end.
No, I know.
That's not what I said at
That's
the
not what you
end.
said at the
No,
end.
that's not
but
what I'm
it is-
saying.
It is what you were saying at the beginning, even if it was in a joking
Yeah,
way.
it's a joke. It's a joke.
It's putting him in a position where he has to defend himself, and then you're taking that like defending himself as a definitive.
Well, I mean, you
thing.
guys do the bit about me being like a Nazi and stuff, and like I just go with it, and then you play your way out of the bit. That's all you do. You just It's like you throw a ball, you play your way out of it.
Well, like I
and
said,
it's just
I-
harmless.
No, I get that it's a game,
back and forth.
but I'm saying I think that's where it is right now, and I get that you can totally do that and throw shit back.
Yeah, and I'm too aggressive. I know I'm too aggressive
You're
and
not
too intense.
I love you,
know.
Ben. I'm not. I
Fuck you, Kevin.
it's the.
There's a lot of love in this room. There really is. It's just
No, we
different.
all love each
Yeah.
other a lot. I asked
Yeah.
Kevin to do the thing at my wedding. What's it called?
fuck your wife.
Yeah, I asked Kevin to fuck
Prima nocta.
fuck my wife at my wedding.
Officiate.
That's not someone you think low of. I think very, very highly of.
I know you do.
You've taught me how to do all the things that are changing my life right now.
Fuck your wife.
Yeah, you taught me how to fuck my wife.
No, I know that. I look. I've got to justify my own experience. You know, you might as well be me sitting over there saying the same shit to myself. You know,
We are all one.
there is a part of me that's like, yeah, you don't need it. Why do it? But then there's another part of me that's just like, I want to. I just need to not be a fucking idiot about it. Yeah, you know, I think I feel like I'm getting better. You know, look, I've been fucking a version of bipolar my whole life, where I just go through ebbs and flows. Remember my 16th birthday, I told my mom I have no friends. I go, I have 0 friends. Everybody that's friends with me, they're just pretending. And then literally the next, like within like 3 hours, she had planned a surprise birthday party, and there was like 45 people at my house surprising me and I'm literally 2 hours before like crying, you know, going, I have 0 friends, nobody likes me. And then people show up, and the end of the party, you know, everybody's gone. I just remember going, thank you so much, Mom. You know, I thought, you know, I just, you know, I talk to my buddies, I'm so lucky to have friends like you. But I go through these moments, and sometimes they will be chemical related. Sometimes they'll be weight related, life experience related. Sometimes it'll be fucking weed related. But most of the time it's just me. It just sucks. I'm going to get fucking depressed sometimes. I'm not going to be funny for periods of time. I'm not going to be sharp and witty. You know, it's going to happen. And sometimes it has to do with weed. But I think a lot of times I'm fucking depressed. I want to fucking kill myself half the time.
Amen, brother.
And
Yeah, and I think going back to, sorry, am I cutting you off?
no,
I think going back to a thing where
we do all want to kill ourselves.
No,
though,
we
right?
100%
Okay,
want to
just
die.
making sure
We
let's
all
make sure.
yeah, we ultimately all feel like life is so pointless. It's like why even just keep folding the laundry of what life is?
I want you to hold on to what you were going to say, because I want to make a clarification on this too, because I have these feelings, because just like you said, life feels meaningless. You get a shit every day. You wipe your ass again. You got to shit again. You got to eat again.
I have to drink another glass of water.
Same shit over and over and over and over, and it's fucking boring as fuck. And you put your effort out in the world, and it might not come back. I have a wife who loves me unconditionally. I have 2 beautiful kids. I've had money.
Right.
I've had everything that I could put on a piece of paper that I could, if you forced any person to say, put down what you think will give you fulfillment in this life. I've had all those things and I still felt like shit. So I think that only points to two potential possibilities. Either one, life is just shitty, even if you got kids and you have everything. Number two is I think this is the more efficient, and this is the internal locus of control, like you were talking about before, is you can find your joy regardless of your circumstances. You can find purpose and meaning, even if it's bullshit. Fucking lie to yourself. Do what you have to do. There is a way to get through it and find joy in it, and it's not about what's happening.
Yeah.
It's about your state of mind.
Yeah, it relates to something I think I saw. I'm stealing this from somebody, I can't remember who, but it's that whole Buddhist, the biggest, statute amongst them is life is suffering. That's their big quote, life is suffering.
Yeah. And
their whole point in that is not like, hey, life fucking sucks and you should fucking die. They're pointing that, like, if you like translate it from like their ancient text, it's literally like, the term is like, it's basically wobbly wheel. Like, life is a wobbly wheel. Like, you're pushing a car with a fucked up, or you're riding a bike with a fucked up wheel on it.
Yeah.
And when you get into real pain is when you forget that that's just what life is it's, you got a fucking wobbly wheeled bike. And then when you're like, why the fuck can I ride this fucking thing? That's when you get in real pain. You're just like, no, oh yeah, I got a fucked up wheel. It's okay. Just try the best you can and everything will be fine. And there's a certain peace and calmness in being like, yeah, you're going to feel like this sometimes. That's just okay. Just keep going. And ultimately everything will be just, I don't even want to say fine. Everything will just be.
Right.
You don't have to spend your life trying to ride straight with a fucked up wheel.
Yeah. And if I can be a little bit of a televangelist here, if there's any assignment I can give to anybody that's feeling like this, is to find two fucking retards that you can hang out with. No shit, no bullshit. Find a fucking friend, man. Talk about your bullshit. Stop trying to be cool and say everything sucks all the fucking time. Try at something you're passionate at and fucking fail. And have a Ben Avery over there with his goddamn shirt off and talk to him about it. Have a fucking friend. Be vulnerable in front of people. If they shoot you down, fuck them. Move on to another person. There are good people out there that will help you out when you need help. When you need a friend, all you have to do, I remember being in fucking life groups and like Bible studies with all these guys that are just like, I just can't stop jerking off. And all I had to do was share one vulnerability about myself. And I have a room full of men that would want to share their darkest, deepest secrets. You know what I mean? Get a little vulnerable with somebody. Find a fucking friend. Reach out.
Yeah. Well, when you put yourself
out there, it makes it easier.
When you put yourself out there and you allow yourself to fail, that's where real growth comes from. Like, even like, this is a really shitty example, but it's something recently, like these drawings I've been putting out, that really scares me to put those out, especially when they're a vulnerable type of drawing. And I put it out, and like, if I fail or not, a lot of people have been coming up to me and being like, hey, those drawings are pretty intense. And I think some people brought this up to me, some friends, where they kind of brought it up shittily, but I think they were ultimately really right. They're like, I feel like you're getting off from how sad these are and showing them to people. And I was like, yeah, I wasn't even really that offended. I'm fine. I don't care. I was like, yeah, you're kind of right. And that led to like kind of like this train of thought I am now, where it's like, yeah, you kind of get off on being the fucked up guy.
Right.
And that's all good and shit. If you do that certainly long enough, people are going to be annoyed by it, one.
Yeah.
And second off, you're going to make your life a lot worse because you have to live that fucked up narrative to have people feel sorry for you.
Right. If the personality you've chosen is I fucking hate myself, try something else. Fake it. Pretend for a month that you have some control, that you like yourself. It will actually help.
I do agree with Kevin. Like, you should just reach out to someone. But I will say, if you suck, don't reach out to anyone because it'll just annoy them. I think you just fucking suck.
I'm going to go with this though. Let's say you do fucking suck.
Yeah. Okay. I'm there.
Okay. Say you suck.
And I'm the most annoying person I know. Go on.
If you can do one thing, be vulnerable, be open to the idea that you are wrong. Now, of course, this doesn't apply to me when it comes to marijuana, but if you suck ass, but you're open to the idea of being wrong because maybe you've sucked ass, maybe you've been sad for your whole life, 10 years, 6 months, a year, whatever. If it's not working, listen to a fucking friend and go, hey, Do I do anything? Dude, I know we all got one person in our mind. Can you imagine if they were to sit down and be, hey, can you be honest with me? I have just been struggling. I'm not happy. And I just feel like I'm pushing people away. What do you think I can do? I'm not going to get mad. Just tell me. Fucking listen. Listen to that fucker.
Well, me and Jace always joke about that because if we tried to have a conversation with that person, we'd be like, "Well, everything you're doing is wrong. let's start at your soul and work outward.
You're very yes.
You have a couple days to sit here.
That's the bad thing about being in comedy. There's a lot of people you'll know where it's like, if you're like, what advice would you give me? It's like, man, you should just die. Like everything about you is you're the least funny person I've ever met. You are the most grating personality I've ever seen in my life. You're mentally insane. I'm like, you should probably just go dig ditches for a living and live in an old shed. And I think that would be your happiest existence.
Well, I think for most of those people, the reason they're so grating and so hard to be around is because they're fucking selfish and they're egocentric.
Right.
And they're always trying to get it back to them.
Right.
And they're always trying
to. So that's like, it's like, what does my life advice completely change who you are as a person down to your core? You know, it's just like there's no hope for you unless you like completely reinvent the wheel. But some people are just
imagine if that person
they're so far gone. I don't think they're coming back.
Imagine if that person that you're thinking about decided to do one piece of service for their life every week. Once a week, they went out and served a community. They volunteered at a fucking euthanasia center for dogs. Or whatever. They actually put
and they
something.
bored the dogs to death because that's how bad they are.
They stand. There's a cage of dogs and they do their set.
Yeah, they do their set,
and the dogs.
They pulls out a gun and
die. But I mean, there are things that those people can do,
right?
But they just have to put effort towards it. And the hardest thing is admitting that you have an issue and being willing to change. Because everybody now is just like, it's not me, it's the rest of the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My mom used to say that shit all the time. It's to drive me nuts. I'm not crazy. It's the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, you fucking crazy.
It's when you talk about those annoying binary people from everywhere. It's like, motherfucker, nobody's gonna make you happy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're trying to change society to make you happy? That's the most futile thing you could do in the world.
That's
like, what if I wasn't getting booked and doing good sets? I'm like, you know what I should do? I should change the entire world to appreciate good comedy from straight white men. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's an insane task to put on yourself.
It really
is. Are you Jesus fucking Christ? No? Okay, then accept that this is what life is and move on. Re-strategize.
Marty, we gotta go back in time. Straight white males aren't getting sets.
Marty, we've got to get Hillary Clinton to campaign in Minnesota so that people will stop being so fucking annoying on Twitter.
What if I told you there was a president so bad that everybody hated anyone that was slightly associated with him?
Do you wonder? I have that. I think it's probably not true, but in my head, there's another timeline where Hillary won and everybody's just cool and nobody gives a fuck about any of this fucking bullshit internet stuff.
I wonder. Yeah. We're all underwater because she's such an idiot.
We're at war with 700 countries, but the economy's doing great.
We're underwater buying Hillary Clinton hot sauce.
That was honestly one of the great things about Obama being president was it's like people that I like to hang out with who are, almost all Democrats, shut the fuck up about politics. They're like, yeah, we got cool black guy president. He believes in the things I agree in. Why would I talk about politics anymore?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm like, if Hillary was president, would people just like shut the fuck up about all this shit and like go on to more important stuff in life?
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's a lot of it. There's so many people focused on things that they can't control, and there's so many things that they can control that they refuse to acknowledge because they're too busy trying to change the whole world.
Right.
And they're not even trying to change the whole world in an actual concrete way. They're doing it in a way that's so futile and so pointless, like not talking to their dad anymore. Like, if I don't talk to my dad, then Trump won't be the president. It's like, no, you fucking idiot. He's going to be your dad after the president doesn't exist anymore. You know what I mean? Like, fucking work on your present circle instead of trying to change the whole world.
Yeah, politics isn't life, guys.
Yeah.
Get a fucking life.
Yeah, start fucking more.
Well, I'm really glad that we decided to do a very hilarious podcast this week. And I'll blame myself.
Well,
the first hour 15 was funny.
Their first hour 15 was funny, and then we got into some real drama, which Ben is right. People do fucking nut off for that. So then we got a little boring on the end, but what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, people can always turn it off an hour and a half in.
Well, I love you guys and full homo. I am attracted to you sexually, and my wife is a beard. And as long as she stays with me, I can maintain this quote unquote plutonic relationship with my male friends, and she will never be the wiser. Thank you so much for listening to the Brain Jail podcast. Is this a good place to wrap up? I
think we're good.
Yeah, sorry guys, I was really annoying this episode.
You weren't annoying.
I'm not this annoying every episode, guys. So keep tuning in.
Oh, I think I'm going to be the annoying person on this episode for sure.
I think I'm great.
Yeah,
I feel great about this
Jace,
episode.
you're great. I mean, Jace. I mean, let's be honest. If you think Jace is the only reason that this podcast is continuing to go, make sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Please, rate, review, subscribe, share with your friends. If you find any clips that you like or whatever, and you got a fucking wild ass hair and you want to throw some clips up to share, we would absolutely promote your stuff and whatnot. At brainjailpod@gmail.com, at brainjailpod on Instagram, iTunes, all that bullshit. Are we gonna do Desperado?
I think we have to close with a karaoke
Yeah, I
song.
think we have to. The people have been asking for it. Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. People
Wow.
say they like the singing, which I'm amazed by.
I have not heard
And
that.
I think if you like the singing, you're kind of dumb.
Let me do a favor for the audience. As we sing this song, let's make sure we back off the mics just a little bit.
A little bit. All right, and this is how we'll end.
Song. It's pretty good. I'm a gay guy.
Desperado.
Pipes in the back.
Why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences.
We're way off key.
So long now. I'm never gonna get on key. Oh, you're a hard one. But I know that you got your reasons. These things that are pleasing you can hurt you somehow. You draw the queen of diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. You know the queen of hearts is always your best bet. Now it seems to me some fine things have been laid upon your table, but you only want the ones that you can get. Desperado. Oh, you ain't getting no younger. Your pain and your hunger, they're driving you home. Oh, and freedom, well, that's just people talking. Your prison is walking through this world all alone. Don't your feet get cold in the wintertime? The sky won't snow and the sun won't shine. It's hard to tell the nighttime from the day. You're losing all your highs and lows, and it's funny how the feeling goes away. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Come down from your fences. Open up the gate. Lock the gate. It may be raining, but there's a rainbow above you. You better let somebody love you. Let somebody love you. You better let somebody love you. Before it's too late. What the fuck?
Real sustain on that ending there. See you next week.
See you guys.
Feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease.
Are you hot as fuck?
About an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome.
If this gonna be that kind of party, I'm gonna stick my dick in the mashed potato. Oh God! They're gonna know I'm dumb.